welcome back. We've got another Geek Short. I'm with Jamie. And how are you doing, Jamie? You don't look too tired, mate. You look all right for someone who's got a newborn baby. You don't look too bad.
Oh, maybe the glasses are hiding it. I had man flu last week, so my voice might be a bit nasally. But I'm feeling all right. I'm getting back to it. It was a nasty one. But how are you?
I'm not too bad. I had my flu jab last week and then my COVID booster this week, as I am registered as vulnerable, although I don't look it. Although we are both wearing, if you're watching this and not listening to it, you can laugh. But if you're listening to it, we're both wearing big, thick black glasses and are white middle-aged men. So, you know, that's some boxes are not ticked there.
Yeah, I've got a granddad collar shirt on as well.
Yeah, and you've got a no collar shirt on, and I'm wearing a Firestorm t-shirt. So there you go. Anyway, it's a very quick Geek Short while we line up some fantastic guests for the winter. We're going to be talking about AI and how it's stepping into our homes. I've been using a plethora of different AI tools for a while now, and we're going to discuss the recent announcement from Amazon.
Yeah, so they look like there's a few people out there saying that they're surprisingly slow behind Google, obviously Apple as well, but they're looking to enhance Amazon Alexa in particular with a new learning language model, which means that basically it won't even need a wake word. So if you say let's chat, it will then just start chatting to you as if you're in a room with your spouse or your child or friend or whatever. It can just start talking to you. It doesn't need prompts as much. So that's a big one. I think that whilst there's a lot of AI in people's homes, people may not think, it is in a way, because anything like Netflix is in your home. It's based off learning off your personality in terms of what you're watching and stuff, and what you like and what you're sort of viewing. But this to me is another step that's going to scare some people. I think it is when it comes out. It's like Alexa will just start chatting to you. People might find that a little bit
strange. Yeah. I always find it funny when people cut certain technology out of their life because they don't agree with it, and then and then they're using something else, and you're like, you realize they're as bad as each other, or it's
exactly. Like, I don't like Facebook, but I use WhatsApp. Same by Meta. So the data through anyway.
Your data's there anyway, my friends.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. So they're going to plug. My understanding is AWS have a service called Bedrock, which is a bit like Chat GPT, and Bard, which is Google's equivalent, and Chat GPT is Microsoft. They're plugging that into their suite of Alexa services and other stuff, right?
Amazing. So they're looking at their Code Whisperer, so development tools. They're even looking at, from a product point of view, obviously touches in my world documentation, so that'll be a big thing. There's other areas that it looks like they're just going across the board, so even in terms of their chat support as well. So it's a question that I'm asking: do you think this is a good thing? Because I'm looking at it as it's Amazon, so they're going to do it well and they're going to be quick.
Yes, it'll be rapid. It'll be delivered well. It'll be easily consumable, as it always is, because that's what they're about. Is it a good thing? Some stuff I think is a good thing. So like Microsoft Copilot, if you've not heard of it, they have a code as in DevOps Copilot piece of software, but they also have Microsoft Office Copilot, which is integrated elements of Chat GPT. So some of the things it will do, I do think is great. So you're recording a call, if you record the call on Teams, it will take the transcript, pick out all key notes, pick out actions, and it'll even dump that and get you ready to be able to send that out, and you can then chat to it and get it to compose emails and stuff off the back of a meeting. And it's only a matter of time before it's then scheduling meetings with your calendar. And for me, I'm all for that. Like the amount of what I would call wasted debt of admin that occurs.
It's a lot. it is a lot. You come out of a meeting, you like, if you're back to back and you've got to type actions, you're trying to keep the notes, you're trying to make sure if you don't get to the notes that day that they're discernible for the following day. Because like if you say 3 till half 5 you're on meetings and you don't get to put out the email like the follow-on steps, then it can be the next day a bit like, or into your evening. So I get you. The fear I have is, like we were discussing it, is any sort of change that you go back into industries where robots were building cars and stuff, there's always going to be sudden hit to jobs. I do think people, I totally agree, especially in the world we work in, we should be embracing tech and using it to enhance what we're doing, like you're saying, streamlining things. But I think people do need to definitely be mindful that this is going to impact jobs. It is. Why would you need a team of 20 product managers if you've got someone a machine that can bat out user stories like that, templates and documentation? It's going to be streamlined teams and managing how them suites, in my opinion, are used. And optimized, the favorite word.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think it raises the bar. If you're, one of the things I think of initially is stupid things like that come to mind, like just organizing your life. Like all those things become really easy. So anything where you're booking stuff, all of that just then happens. You have more time. But I do think you're right. I do think there'll still need to be humans doing things. I think a really good analogy I heard a while back was, if you imagine a street full of restaurants, and the restaurants are all different. So there's a burger bar, there's a steakhouse, there's a vegan place, there's everything, you name it. But they've all got access and different budgets and different footprints to be able to do stuff. Now you imagine AI comes along, suddenly everyone's got all the best kitchen utensils and access to all the best ingredients on that street. What's going to make the difference between what's going to be the differentiator for those restaurants? It'll be the humans, right?
Yeah, it will be. It will. I do definitely believe it's a thing you can work with in harmony. Is another tool I've started looking at, Calato, which is very much around looking at documentation and that. I threw him a CV the other day just to see what it'd do, and it came out with an interesting thing. Kind of like industry generic. So that's the other thing I do worry about. But if you're clever, you will then look at how you can help to use that to your advantage. Is it going to make a lot of things generic?
Yes, like, generically average.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just throw in, like you say, you're busy. I'm like, I'm across 4 projects. You know what? I'm just going to throw in the Miro board, documentation, meeting notes, and just say, write me 10 user stories based off this criteria. And then you just don't have like the sort of edge cases captured and things might get missed. That's where I still think there will need to be that human eye to it. But I do think there might be a bit of laziness where people will just go, oh, it's generic. It doesn't need to do anything outside.
And that's where I think we as humans are awesome. We're all different, right? And that's what makes us fantastic. That's why you need DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because otherwise, all the ideas are the same. AI is in danger of doing the same thing. I think effectively.
But do you think, because we've definitely talked about it, but do you think the rate it's going, and now we're getting to the stage where there already were big companies, but the real big players are now fully going across all their suites, all their sort of real estate, like Google will start, I'm sure Nest will then get a push and Apple will start doing more. Do you think there needs to be regulation now, though? Do you think it's getting to that point? We've said before it's too far, but is it getting to a critical point? Like, surely someone's going to come along and go, we have to regulate what we're doing here.
Yeah, and I think there's been open letters written, right, to governments, but I don't think they understand the impact of it. It is my opinion. I don't think they understand it's coming in the speed in which it's coming. Some of the things like the AI or and these LLMs can produce is nuts. And it's humanly, it's easily available as well.
It is.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I think it needs to be legislated for quickly. As in, I think we need to ensure that we're good parents to the technology, because it is going to be brighter than us.
It's not far off it. It's not
No.
far off it. The IQ Jack EBT, they think it's not far off Einstein's level.
No,
already.
but do I want to see? I mean, you've put, is there going to be an arms race in big tech? I mean, very possibly. But then at the same time, I also have, I see the good in some of it. Like, some of the examples I saw recently was managing and caring for the dementia patient.
Yes.
So the ability to actually have someone or something, whether it's a robot or an audio or something, that can effectively be fed loads of data about dementia patients and then help manage that dementia patient, and then the family around them can leave that patient, right?
Yeah, and again, they probably, having known people who've suffered with dementia, but also the impact it has is it can be draining on a human, whereas at that point, the robot, in theory, the AI doesn't have that emotive response to it. So if the person does have a bad day, which of course with a condition like that's going to happen, they're not then going to be trained by it emotionally as well. So there's that sort of disconnect there. So it's definitely good, but I think there's you said about the regulator. I think the thing is just about the ethics behind it as well. And
yeah,
the thing that I don't think people are aware of is like ChatGPT now was restricted to 2021. It's now out there across the board up until this year. So again, it's picking up on everything. Obviously, there's been a lot of bad stuff since 2021 going on in the world, and I just wonder, like, as well, when companies, there will be some more security conscious, but there'll be some companies who will be like, especially startups, I think, who will be like, oh, if we can get access to this, we can really scale quickly.
yes.
But they're putting a lot of their data and people's data. If there's no legislation behind that, there's going to be a lot of stuff thrown into the wind that I'm like, still think, are we just...
And organisations are really struggling with that around the legality of what is theirs to feed large language, and what legally they shouldn't feed it. And I'm seeing it in my job. Like they don't.
Yeah,
it's a real headache on what you can. And the one thing I will say is, humans are greedy, and if you don't think that there's competing organisations and competing services, if one says, hang on a minute, we need to take this to government and look at it, the other one will be fucking doing it.
That's why I said about the arms race. I think people will not
be doing it, right?
Yeah, they won't be thinking about, oh yeah, they're putting a hold on this. They'll see that as an opportunity to get ahead. I think that's the real crunch behind it. There's definitely I'm like 50-50 on this. I like to see, like you say, the good in it. There'll be a point where they'll probably be able to be more advanced in doing medical testing and reporting and what we can do in terms of cures and stuff a lot quicker than a human probably. Well, definitely. But I just feel like there's a little bit of lack of awareness of what it then could do on the negative side, and how do we, because if it is getting already more intelligent than humans, at what point are we in control of it, or is it in control of us? And that's not me being all robots are coming.
And we've written these algorithms, or the algorithms are writing themselves for things like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, for that, to keep you scrolling. So if anyone has ever found themselves sitting down for a minute and they flick through and then they're there for half an hour, that wasn't by accident. That was by design.
Exactly.
That's how it's designed to be, for you to be consumed.
It's replaced the TV guide.
Yeah,
what people used to do when they were on the toilet, read the TV guide.
Now you flick through TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube. But it's literally what's happening. But there is good in the world. Like, I wear if you can see this, if you can't see it, don't worry. I wear a sensor that I'm diabetic, hence the COVID booster. It streams my blood sugars to my mobile phone. And they've released recently what they call a closed loop system. So it's like a digital pancreas. So you enter, so then you wear a pump that releases insulin into your body.
Wow.
And then you just enter what you've eaten, and it takes the feed of your sugars. And I'm like, when I was diagnosed at 12, you would do a blood test and it would take 3 minutes to get the results. And then you'd wait, you wouldn't do another blood test for 6 hours. Right?
See, in my film world, I'm picturing Bane.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna start pumping you. And
I'm
then
pumping
one in
with
a
his
year's
Lily.
time, and you are just there, and then you'll
Um,
say the line,
But
"Darkness is your ally."
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
it's things like that, right? And we're seeing it with things like Christian Eriksen wearing
Yeah,
the devices are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like everything's just, you know.
I still want to see you as Bane, and then saying the infamous quote of "Darkness is your ally" in the voice.
I'll have to put that into this Geek short one.
Yeah, it's a great one. But it's
So are you
interesting.
using AI? Are you using any of it at the minute, Jake?
Oh yeah, I say like people aren't even aware. You are every day. I think people are in some form because it used to there's things like machine learning, personalization. It's now all coming into that. Like think about it. You go down at night. If you rate your Netflix show, even without rating it, they'll say based on this, you've watched this. So you're doing that. You go on Amazon, you might be a book reader. They'll pick up that you're reading thriller series or whatever. Of course you are. You can't avoid it. I'm starting to do the dipping into how can I learn about it to benefit me and make sure that I'm ahead of trends, of course, because that's part of the sort of remit of what we do and the roles we work, and start to play around with tools just to see, oh, okay, how can it actually help streamline my work, but make sure that I'm sort of then being productive in other ways as well. But it's scary as well because it's not only it just overwhelms you because there's so much out there. It's literally go anywhere now. It's like use this app for AI, use this app, and it's like what are the good ones as well. So you're trying to sort of go through a world of just everyone throwing the word AI in front of something, but what actually does help.
And making it a product. I do think we'll see loads of people make money. I honestly think there'll be lots of in any revolution, and let's face it, this is a digital revolution.
It is.
I do think there'll be lots of millionaires made.
Oh, 100%. I won't be one of them. I definitely won't be. But before we close, I think we'll reference, because we try and get there every week. Luton actually won their first ever Premier League game at the weekend. Everton as well, a really tough ground. I know Everton aren't great in current climate, but to go to Goodison and win. And I put Morris in my fantasy football team and as captain. Now, people, Haaland, Wolves, no. I ignored that. I ignored it. And he scores, and then they got another weekend, midweek game
tonight. So I'll be at the Kenny tonight.
It'll be rocking. Burnley will be interesting because Burnley are a ball playing team. Then so they stick to their star under company. It'll be interesting. So enjoy that. But we've already got our next one lined up for our Geek short, which will be, we won't say exactly what it is, but it is around cars.
Yes.
So I'll promote, which will hopefully be like people will be like, what the hell? So we'll see what happens on that. But it's been, as always, a pleasure to catch up, Darren.
Always a pleasure. Going to go grab some lunch.
I've got some nice toasted bread with some cheese.
Well, I'm at the football tonight, and I'm trying to be good, so I've got a curry. So I'm having my hot dinner, and then I'll just have a snack. So I'm having a low fat curry.
And you've got to wait for your Bane patch to kick in as well.
I'll wait for Bane patch to kick in, then we're good.
I really can't stop picturing you as Bane now.
Right. We'll see you next time.
Take care, mate. See you soon.